How a photographer tripled monthly bookings using AI without compromising quality. 𝐁𝐞𝐥𝐲𝐬𝐚's business was not going to grow. She could only handle 8 shoots a month, and each week stretched past 70 hours. Her inbox was overflowing with inquiries, but she had to turn most of them away. Although she loved photography, the stress was crushing. She was already missing dinners with friends, working late into the night, and constantly worrying that she was not giving her clients the experience they deserved. She was stuck in this cycle when she discovered a workflow that changed everything. By November 2024, she was booking 24 shoots a month, working fewer hours, and delivering the same stunning quality. This is how she did it. 𝐁𝐞𝐥𝐲𝐬𝐚 had a thriving Instagram account with 47,000 followers, and inquiries poured in every week. The problem was not finding clients, but keeping up with the growing demand. She specialized in lifestyle portraits, engagement sessions, and small weddings, and her work was stunning. Her clients loved it, leaving perfect 5-star reviews across the board. Yet, despite the praise, every shoot came with hundreds of photos to sort and edit, and each client needed emails, confirmations, and guidance, while the galleries had to be perfect. The workload never stopped, and it quickly took over her days. As a result, 𝐁𝐞𝐥𝐲𝐬𝐚 spent more time behind the computer than behind the camera. She was constantly tired, too drained to cook for herself, and too exhausted to meet friends for dinner. The stress followed her into every moment outside work, making it impossible to relax or recharge. Her hourly rate looked good on paper, 56 𝐸 per hour, but in reality she was burning out, had no work-life balance, and was constantly turning down good opportunities. This was the hidden side of running a photography business, the side that no one talks about. Then 𝐁𝐞𝐥𝐲𝐬𝐚 discovered a workflow where she used AI to transform the way she worked, giving her time back, reducing stress, and allowing her business to grow without burning out. Part 1. The Editing Revolution. 𝐁𝐴's biggest bottleneck was photo editing. Every shoot left her with hundreds of photos to sort, adjust, and perfect. She often felt drained after a session, staring at her screen for hours and wondering if she could keep up. Editing alone took more than 11 hours per shoot, and that didn't include emails, revisions, or gallery delivery. It was exhausting, and she could feel herself slipping into burnout. In February 2024, 𝐁𝐴 started using Luminar Neo to assist her editing. She guided the tool to apply the adjustments she had chosen, making the editing process faster. This saved her hours of repetitive work, and the relief was immediate. For the first time in months, she could sit back and watch the workflow actually lighten her load. With the tool assisting, 𝐁𝐴 could manage small details like skin tone and lighting more efficiently. She noticed herself smiling more as she worked, and even her clients started noticing the difference. They complimented the sharper, more polished photos and the consistency of her style. With the AI as her assistant, not a replacement, 𝐁𝐴 could maintain her creative vision while reclaiming hours of her week. Editing no longer felt like a chore. She had space to breathe, to think creatively, and to enjoy the work she loved. Part 2. The Client Communication Automation. Because 𝐁𝐴 had seen such success with AI in February, she decided it was time to tackle her next bottleneck, client communication. She started experimenting with ChatGPT, even though she wasn't sure it would handle her messages correctly. At first, it made small mistakes, and she often had to fix the wording herself. She didn't let that stop her. She guided the AI carefully, correcting errors and tweaking the responses. She learned to use it to draft routine messages, which she then reviewed and personalized. By March 2024, she had a system in place where she could copy a client inquiry, run it through ChatGPT, and make just a few tweaks before sending. Encouraged, 𝐁𝐴 also used the AI to help with bookings and client onboarding through Acuity scheduling. She didn't expect it to get everything right at first, but by testing it gradually, she set up a system that could show available dates, send confirmations, deliver pre-shoot questionnaires, and send reminders. 𝐁𝐴 only had to review the responses. Tasks that once took 45 minutes per client now took 5. Part 3. The Gallery Delivery Transformation. By April 2024, Mia had already seen that using AI carefully could actually give her breathing room. So she looked at the next part of her work that was slowing her down. Gallery delivery was still taking more time than it should, and it often arrived right when she was already exhausted from editing and client messages. She decided to try using AI here too, but without much confidence at first. She did not expect it to understand her style or organize her work the way she would. So she treated it the same way she had before, as something to assist her, not replace her. She reviewed every gallery, made changes, and signed off on everything herself. As she kept using it, the difference became clear. Galleries came together faster, and she no longer felt that familiar resistance when it was time to deliver finished work. Instead of dreading that final step, she moved through it calmly, knowing she still had complete control over what her clients received. Before each session, Mia guided ChatGPT to brainstorm ideas, then she selected what matched her style and refined the rest. She walked into shoots knowing what she wanted to try, which made it easier to focus on her clients. To keep clients aligned, Mia used Canva to create mood boards that reflected the direction of each shoot. Sharing these in advance reduced back and forth and helped sessions run more smoothly. This part of her workflow did not change who she was as a photographer. It gave her structure. With better preparation and clearer expectations, the work felt calmer, the shoots felt easier, and the creative side of photography became enjoyable again. Part 5. The Scaling Breakthrough. By May 2024, Mia could finally feel the difference in her days. The hours that used to vanish in admin and endless follow-ups no longer left her drained, which meant each shoot felt lighter and more enjoyable. For the first time in months, she could relax after work, catch up with friends, and actually enjoy evenings again. Before this change, a single shoot often stretched beyond 20 hours, leaving Mia drained by the end of each week. Once her workflow settled, the same shoots barely took over 8 hours, and with that extra breathing room, she finally felt like she could steer her schedule rather than being swept along by it. Instead of constantly asking herself how much more she could push, she could calmly decide how much work made sense. That choice mattered more than she expected. Even though her calendar could have been packed immediately, she didn't rush. She treated May as a test rather than a leap. 11 shoots felt doable, so she added a few more in June. When 14 still left her evenings free, she went a step further in July. By late summer, the pace finally felt natural. Because her service had improved, adjusting her prices was natural. Portrait sessions moved from 800 to 1,000, engagement sessions from 1,200 to 1,500, and small weddings from 2,500 to 3,200. Clients didn't hesitate. They could see and feel the difference in the care Mia put into her work. For Mia, that steady growth was the real breakthrough. She had control over her schedule, her energy, and her business. The work no longer ruled her life. For the first time, she could set the pace, enjoy the process, and feel confident about the future she was building. Part 6. The Results and Toolkit. In January 2024, Mia was drowning in her own success. She had 8 shoots each month, and while her bookings brought in decent money, she barely had time to breathe. Her days were consumed by editing, emails, and gallery delivery. Nights and weekends blurred together. By November 2024, everything had changed. Mia was comfortably handling 3 times as many shoots each month. She was no longer chained to her desk. She had time for her friends, for evenings out, and for creative exploration. Clients still loved her work, but now the experience she offered felt calmer, smoother, and more personal. The shift did not happen overnight. She did not just take on more work and hope for the best. She rebuilt her workflows one piece at a time, using each tool to assist with repetitive tasks while she actively directed the process. This gave her the freedom to take on more shoots without burning out. She could respond to inquiries, plan sessions, deliver galleries, and still have time to recharge. By the end of the year, Mia had a system she could rely on. She used Luminar Neo to speed up her editing, ChatGPT to draft client messages, and Pixie Set to organize galleries. Each tool became a partner in her workflow, saving hours each week and letting her focus on the creative parts she loved. For Mia, this was more than just a business transformation. It was a life transformation. She was not just earning more. She was living better, fully in charge of both her work and her time. Mia Chen grew her business, tripled her bookings, and started working fewer hours while keeping her creative standards high. The tasks that once drained her no longer took over her life. She had space to focus on the work she loved and to enjoy it again. Today, the photographers thriving are not the ones with the most expensive equipment. They are the ones who learn to make technology work for them, freeing their creativity instead of replacing it. For anyone feeling overwhelmed, the lesson is clear. Tools like AI let you spend more time doing what matters most. Mia regained her time, her balance, and her passion. For the first time, she was fully in control of her work and her future. If her story inspired you, subscribe and follow this series. The future is already here. The question is, are you ready to take it?